All right, welcome. Let me get this YouTube out. I know that we're live here. Shout out to everybody that's coming in. I'm going to give people an opportunity to step on into the YouTube. As you come in, go ahead and tap the like button. I'm going to screen share it over here, kind of clear it up for you guys so that you'll be able to see. This is Sunday's charting review. Gonna take a look at some of the charts that we'll be looking at for the week. Primary focus is on prop trading, but we'll take a look at the market as well. Any questions that you have, feel free to bring them as well. Let me get this message sent over to the Discord so people can come in and take a listen as well. Make sure when you come in, you tap the like button. I hope that you're having a wonderful Sunday. We have Forex market opening in a few hours. So we're going to take a look at some charts. I have a few in mind. This will not be long. I won't take a lot of my time. So that means I won't take a lot of your time as well. Be very precise and to the point. But any questions that you do have, feel free to ask. I want to start with people have been saying that it's a market crash, right? I've been seeing that people have been saying that it is a market crash. But the definition of a market crash, what is the definition of a market crash? These are simple things that we can kind of look up ourselves. But a market crash typically is when you see a negative 10% move in a day. And it's not just me saying that, that is actually like the definition of a market crash. Recently, we've seen, let's say, QQQ. It has had a drop, but the drop hasn't been around, I think, let's round it to about 3%. We'll round it to about 3%. So the market has only dropped about 3%. And then if you want to go over to the Bitcoin, if you want to take a look at Bitcoin into the crypto markets, you've only had a -7, and we can round that to a -8%. Now, cryptocurrency is a lot more volatile than your stock market. But even with that being said, that's a 7% drop, 7 to 8% drop within a week. And with let's say QQQ, which holds the top 500 companies within the stock market, there's been, I'm rounding up as well, a 3% drop in a week. And a stock market crash, it would need to be about 10% within a day. So I say that because I have been seeing it go around online, and I like to give what I believe is what's real. If you think that that's fake, go ahead and tell me that that's fake in the comments as well. But let's get over to the real business over here, and we focus on technical analysis and technical analysis alone. There's no fundamentals into what I'm looking at. I'm looking literally at the charts. I believe in probabilities. I believe that this is a game of probabilities. You can be in the right trade at the wrong time. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is start off with QQQ just to start looking at some of the things that everybody typically looks at. And the first thing I like to do is plot the highs. We see the highs and the lows here. Swing high and swing low. And I like to use the Fibonacci's. My Fibonacci's will go from top to the bottom here. All right. So the zero, between the 0 to the 0.382 is our wholesale range. And I'll mark it just so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because I'll be speaking this way for the remainder of the YouTube. So we have our wholesale. Let me turn this down just quite a bit. So you got your wholesale range, and then from your 618 to your 1 is your retail range, right? So when we go to any store, I like to use this as a example or analogy. As you go to any store, if you were buying a product and you were selling a product, would you want to buy that at wholesale prices, or would you prefer to buy that at a retail price if you're going to be reselling something? Well, when you're buying stocks, you're going to be reselling it eventually. So it's best to buy those stocks in the wholesale area and wait for a retail price to get a profit margin. Let me say that again. You want to buy your stocks in a wholesale area, this green area, to look for, and wait and be patient to sell in a retail area to make a profit margin. All right. So what is a profit margin? A profit margin, what would be the profit margin on a trade like this? Just from the wholesale area to retail area, let's just call it, that's 18%. And if you want to go off of how long it took just to get to the highs, it took 2 months and 2 weeks for a 23% move in the QQQ. So you have to be patient in order to see a return on your investment. All right. Now we're above that. I like to think of the Fibonacci's also in a very layman's way as a rubber band. At zero, you have a contraction on your rubber band. If you can imagine that a rubber band is just, if you take that rubber band, envision this with me. Imagine you take that rubber band, you pull it, and it's flat now. That's zero. Now, when you stretch that rubber band out, when it's expanded, it goes to 100. Now, when you get past 100, that's when you kind of get worried, right? Now, the one represents 100. When the rubber band gets to 100, keep your mind focused on this rubber band. When the rubber band goes past 100, you start to get worried. What are you worried about? You're worried about the contraction back, because the further that rubber band goes out, the quicker that it can come back down. Right now, as you look at QQQ, that's how I see the golden ratio at 1.618. The rubber band is extended. Can it get to 622? I like to say it's possible, but would you buy up here? No. It could be possible. I won't know right now, right? But what I would like to do is, we'll see more tomorrow. I like to use the fractals, and I'll see if we get a fractal tomorrow at this point, showing that it's the high. If it's not this week, maybe we start getting more of a pull down, and it shows this week. Now, why do I have the daily up here? Now, the daily is showing a crossover, and now that I see this, I actually like it a little bit more. The daily is showing a crossover. So that shows me that we are on the downtrend with the stochastics up here. The RSI on the weekly is up at 63. And then you have the stochastics that's up as well, showing that we need a pullback or a market correction, right? Because we're quite high within that area. Now, well, where do you enter? Why do I have this 4-hour time frame over here? The 4-hour time frame is strictly used for the entry. We use it for the entry. Okay. So this wasn't the trade to enter. This down trade, I mean, if you got in and it happens to continue going low, congratulations. But I use a strategy and I stick with the strategy. My strategy, it gives you probability. By having a strategy, by having a strategic plan, it gives you your probability, your odds of success. Okay. If you continue to do it, you just increase your odds because you get better over time. If you're looking for that strategy, I do have a Udemy course that you can check out. The link is in the bio, or you can join over the free Discord general chat, and I have no problem helping out another person. That's the purpose of being on earth, is to help another person. So feel free to do either one or all. All right. So looking at QQQ, I would say right now, I wouldn't touch it at this moment. I will wait for a pullback. So you can get a PSAR entry. But overall, I like to see a fractal at the top. Okay. So I'll add a fractal right now, just so you can see what I'm speaking of. When you get a red fractal at the top, that gives me my key to enter a trade. All right. There's no fractal at the top at this moment. The fractal is a lagging indicator. I'm very aware of that. So do what you would with that information. I do like to use the fractals as my indicator, showing me to enter the trade, because the fractal is signifying a top or a bottom, or let's call it a support or resistance for better terms. It's signifying a support or a resistance. As you go, just for example, if you're going up in this trade, you see that it forms a bottom fractal. The bottom fractal shows you that it found a support ground. And then from there, it continued to go up. Now you get a bit of a resistance point, the red fractal, resistance point, support point, and a breakout through that resistance. All right. So now I say all of that to say I'm waiting on a resistant point to show up, because we sell at resistance. We sell at a weak point. This is a weak point. This is the QQQ. I don't like fighting against the QQQ, but I just like to say that I wouldn't be buying at these levels. Maybe you want to do a credit spread. If you did a credit spread, you can do a I always say sell the BS, and you know what the BS stands for. So sell the BS. What's the BS? The BS would be a call. Sell a call. Why would you sell a call at these levels? Well, most likely it can't go too much higher, but also you're able to eliminate some of your risk versus buying an option. Then you have time decay working against you, where if you bought a credit spread, you have time decay working with you. And then if the market decides to go sideways, you can still receive profits as well. Just depends on which way you want to do it. There's a lot of ways to skin a carrot. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to skin a carrot, right? So that's how we'll go about that. So let's go over and take a look at the crypto market. We'll go over to BTC, USD, Bitcoin. I'll clean off the chart. As you see, I do homework on the weekends. Let's go BTC, USD over here, and then we're going to go to crypto. We'll go to Coinbase. I do homework on the weekends. I'll take the fractals off right now so it doesn't get invasive. If you have any questions, please type them in the chat. I know it's Sunday. I know a lot of people are watching football, perhaps, or just enjoying the time outside. It's a beautiful day outside. So that's why I want to come in and be quick and try to be straight to the point. So we're going to take a look at USD or Bitcoin. And then I have 3 Forex pairs that we'll take a look at. And this can give you the opportunity to get a prop trading account if you don't have one, to gain and get a prop trading account and come back to this channel where you can get the information that you could use as a tool to help you gain your prop trading account. Because what a prop trading account will do for you as a trader, I didn't have a lot of money starting out. I won't even say I have a lot of money now for those that's watching. So with that being said, a prop trading account is going, once you have the skills down, it's going to give you the opportunity to be funded 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, up to $1 million or more. Or you can copy trade. And that's something that we can get into on a later date. But let's just stick with the basics. A prop trading account can give you can gain $100,000 account. Now, does that mean you have $100,000 liquid? No, it does not. You have $100,000 to quote unquote trade. There are rules involved, but that comes with skills. The rules that's involved in these prop trading companies, they're not to hurt you. They actually help you become more disciplined as a trader, right? So that's what I want to give you the opportunity to do, is to go and have a prop trading account. As you see, there's no prop trading account listed in my links, I don't believe. So it's not anything about being affiliated with it. It's about information, the information that you could use to gather and gain more capital. A lot of traders don't become profitable because they just don't have enough capital to trade with. You make 1% in $1,000 account, that's $100. You make 1,000, you make 1% in $100,000 account, that's $1,000. You see where I'm going with this? So some people can hold on to their trades for a lot longer, wanting more money, but really they just need a bigger account, and also just stick with the trading plan. All right. So let's go back over here to Bitcoin. Looking at Bitcoin, let's go back with the Fibonacci so we can go ahead and use the example of that rubber band. Let's go ahead and get the rubber band in our head. All right. As we see, Bitcoin is currently at 114,000. We see that it reached above that retail area, right? And remember, we don't buy in the retail area. We don't buy in the retail area. Now, in the retail area, we know don't just take a sell. I mean, if you took one over here, you would have came out on top. And now we're up here in this range where we have a rally, base. But remember, when that rubber band gets extended, that's when we get a little bit worried. If you go grab a rubber band right now, I guarantee you that once you pull it to a certain point, you're going to get a little worried. If not, your pain tolerance is just high. And some people have a high pain tolerance, not just with a rubber band, but clearly in stocks as well, stocks and crypto. So Bitcoin is currently past that retail area. I'm not looking to sell Bitcoin. I'm looking to accumulate more Bitcoin at a lower price. I do have a bias on Bitcoin in a long term, for a long-term perspective. So I don't look to sell Bitcoin. Now, if the opportunity was to present itself and I did just see it, then yes, that is a probability. But let's add a fractal. Let's see where we're at. I would like to see a fractal. So just for visual sake, you get a fractal right here, you know it's like a green light to go ahead and go. And I don't mean go up. All right. You get a red light to take the trade in your perspective area. Red light. I'm sorry, green light to take the trade. Then it goes down. Then you get a green light here to take the trade going up. You get another green light. right? Maybe this one didn't work out. This is what I mean, where you can be in a trade, where you can be at the right place, just at the wrong time. And that's the same thing, not just in trading, it happens in life as well. And that's okay. Just keep on going. Message for today, keep on going. Put that in the subtitle. So you got the green right here, which is the okay for you to go ahead and go up. But the thing I like as well with the fractal is, and when you apply the fractal with the Fibonacci's, if you were to take a trade here, you could put your stop loss a few ticks, pips, however you want to put it, a few points, a few dollars, a few cents below the swing low. All right. Then perhaps you could have stayed in this trade. But let's say you didn't. You still took one trade. You got in down here, anywhere between 74 to 87,000, and then you taking it on up. Now that's all in hindsight, but it's not hindsight because these are things that we've actually done and we're doing. So I'm speaking about it not just in past tense. This is present tense. So right now, as we take a look at Bitcoin, it's currently high right now. There's nothing wrong with taking some profits because you do make more. You do yield more percentage ROI whenever you take out some profits, and you don't want to get caught holding the bag, because then you're just holding, you got your capital in there and you're just watching the market fluctuate up and down, up and down, up and down. But when did you ever take some profit to accumulate that money to put it somewhere else to allow those horses to win your race? So right now, basically, if we're talking about horses, these horses can get tired. So what they say, and I don't know who they is, but we're gonna talk about them. Never put your money on a tired horse. Right now, you can quote unquote call this a tired horse. Now, I'm speaking from let's call it a positional traders. I'm speaking from a positional trader's mindset, meaning you're thinking of holding these trades for months to years. So that's why I say you can take some profits from it, put the money somewhere else, allow it to accumulate and redistribute. Put your money with some good horses, allow that money to keep on growing. As my dad would always say, put some coveralls on your dollars and let them go to work for you. Don't put your coveralls on the person that's not going to go to work. Put it somewhere that it is going to go to work, because the only thing you're doing, Bitcoin, blah, 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 whatever it is, it's just a title. We just want the money to continue to grow in our favor. All right. All right. So now let's go ahead and get over to these Forex pairs that I was speaking on so that we can conclude today. And if you have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat or leave a comment. All right. I appreciate the likes. Thank you again for the likes. If you're still here, I hope that you are. Tap the like button. I don't get paid for doing this, but a like is a pay. That's a pay to me. It's showing me that somebody is being helped from this information that's being delivered. All right. So taking a look at Euro GBP, this one is the first one on my list right now. We're looking at Euro GBP for a sale. Remember that we have this little red fractal that's showing us a what? It's giving us a trigger, right? So it's giving us a trigger in this area. I'll do something like this. This is how I like to look at it. You can do it like this, just from, resistance to support. Now you got your retail area. We're in a retail area, right? Now what I'm going to be waiting for is this stochastics to be above the 50. I want this stochastics to be above the 50 because that's showing me that I can get in with the trend. I want to be in with the bearish trend as it continues to go down. Right now, we need a retracement as it continues to go up. Now, if price goes above this fractal right here on the weekly, okay, then it's invalid. It's void, null and void. We skip it. We don't even take the trade, right? Now, when will we get in the trade? We will get in the trade when price breaks below this PSAR. But everything needs to be in order for that to happen. It's a strategic plan. The RSI is fine. It's above the 50. We have a green light here for a go. We have our retail area here, and we need a pullback. We need a pullback on this stochastics. Hopefully that doesn't go above this retail area, because it still could go higher. That rubber band still can extend, right? So now this is something to watch for. This isn't something to get into. This is something to watch for, because if we get what we're looking for, then we'll be able to proceed with this trade. But we don't know if price will continue to go above that retail area high and break above that fractal. If it breaks above that fractal, it's null and void. All right. So that's a bearish outlook on Euro GBP. Type of one in the chat if that makes sense to you. If you have any questions about that, go ahead and type in as well. And if I don't get it to you, if I don't get the answer over to you live, I'll make sure I come back and I'll comment below. as well. And also feel free to check out my Twitter. I do post a lot on Twitter as well. A lot of different things. It is what it is. I am who I am, and that I am. All right. So we're gonna move over to Euro JPY. Taking a look at Euro JPY, we see that we are quite extended. Wow, watch this right here. I just see this right off the top. Man, that's a high. So it's broken past a high. We were in this trade at a bearish. We took a small trade just trying to get our feet wet on a bearish trade, right? And it didn't go in our favor. We actually gapped up. It gapped up. But these are called novice gaps. This isn't a professional gap. Professional gaps happen at the bottom. Now, a professional gap at the top will be if it gapped down. If it gapped down, it gapped up at a retail area. That's called a novice. That's a novice gap. All right. That's considered a novice gap. That's not my definition. That is the definition. I didn't just make that up. That is information that I have accumulated over my time span of trading, and I'm only getting better. And thank you for being here. So from here, we have the rubber band, and the rubber band is quite fairly extended, and it popped. The rubber band has now popped. So now that the rubber band popped, I am expecting it to continue going down. Now, when do we get in this trade? Let's see here. Was this the trade? Was this the trade? Is the question I was asking myself? No, because the red fractal was now voided. So we're going to be waiting for the next PSAR entry to take this trade. The stochastic is up. The RSI is up. Now only thing we need to see is if we get a red fractal, whether that's at this week's new candle or the next week. So within the next week or two, if we'll get a candle. And if you don't believe the things that I'm saying, you can go back to my previous YouTubes and you'll see exactly what I mean. Compare my previous YouTubes to what you see today. Last week or a week or two ago, I talked about LMT. All right, so I'm gonna go to LMT in just a second so that we can look at this one, and then we'll go to our last Forex pair. So taking a look at this one, we're gonna hold a bearish disposition on it. All right, waiting for a PSAR entry. We're waiting for a PSAR entry according to our trading plan. And remember, keep your stop losses above that weekly high, and we're gonna hold on. We hold. Now these trades typically take 3 to 6 months, is what I like to say. 3 to 6 months, and I can't say what the average gain would be. I don't do ratio. I don't do what do they call it? Risk to rewards like that, like 1 to 3, 1 to 5, things like that, because it always changes. This could be, look, that's 5%. That's 5% here. Or if you flipped it and you took it, let's just say from this low to the wholesale area low, that's about, let's see here, just that range will be 6% to 8%. So a 6 to 8% gain on a bearish trade, if your entry is correct, according to the PSAR, always entering on a PSAR. Now, I spoke about LMT a few weeks back, and we had a bullish disposition on it. Now, look at where we're at now. Clearly, it hasn't went down. You can go back and check that. You can go check that information. I think I talked about UPS as well. UPS is still consolidating sideways, right? That's good for a credit spread. You make money on a sideways moving on a credit spread. What would we call a credit spread? Well, we would have a bullish disposition, a bullish outlook. I keep using that disposition word. You have a bullish outlook on UPS. All right. A bullish outlook on UPS. Shout out to Jeff in the chat. You guys check out Jeff, a great person, great father, great man. Make sure you tap the like as well. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. So with UPS, we see that it's moving sideways, right? So you can look for sell the BS. What's selling the BS? Again, selling the opposite of what you believe, because you're selling to somebody. I would be selling the puts because I don't have a bearish disposition on this, a bearish outlook. There goes that word again. All right, so we're below this wholesale area here. We're below the wholesale area. I'm not looking to sell this. I'm looking to buy it. So why would I sell a call? I would sell a put. All right, so last and not least, we're staying bullish on USD CHF. We have taken trades on USD CHF. We're buying here at these levels in our group, the holistic traders, where we buy wholesale and we sell retail. All right, so What I'm going to do is go ahead and mark up this chart. Remember that we are looking to buy the lows, the swing low, right? So here we're at the swing low. We have the RSI. The RSI is below 50. We're in the wholesale area. What's the wholesale area? Between the 0 and the 382. I'm going to go ahead and mark it up, right? And we just keep our stop loss below this weekly low. Well, what about our entry? Where do we enter at, Immaculate? Well, hey, that's what we use our PSAR for. We use the PSARs for our entry. It gives us a precise entry for the PSAR. Well, what about the stochastic? You got the stochastic over here. Well, right now it's showing that we won't enter right now. This is something to add to your watch list for a bullish trade. And if you're in the group, in the Discord, feel free to ask. And when you see that stochastic go below 15, you see that PSAR is ready to take an entry, then you'll be good to take this trade. So we have been in this trade. Our stop loss is below this low, and we're not moving it right now. We're not moving it right now. We can adjust it. Once we get a weekly fractal and showing us that we got some support. But right now, the most recent support is the low, which is 78300. All right. So I want to come to you a quick 25 minutes on a Sunday to drop some information to you that you can use as a tool for your own personal growth. Hopefully you'll be able to share this information. Hopefully that it made sense with you. Check out my Substacks as well. I'll be sure to post a Substack regarding this and some more charts and the information regarding it. But I really want you to become a prop trader. I really want you to receive the information to become a prop trader. And you don't have to leverage your own account. You can leverage OPM, other people's money. Maybe you don't have 100,000. Maybe you don't have 200,000. Maybe you don't have 400,000. Here's the opportunity in the now to do something about it today. Do something about it with the information that you're able to convey with the information I'm giving you right now. I did. I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. I'm telling you what I know as facts. So whether you believe me now or believe me later, just believe yourself. I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that you have a tremendous Sunday. I hope that you have a great week. And every day, wake up and meditate. Wake up and tell yourself, I expect to have a great day. What you inspect and expect is what you'll get. Remember that garbage in, garbage stays. So put great things into your mind so that you can continue to grow. You weren't buried, you were planted. All right. With that being said, you have a phenomenal day, a phenomenal Sunday. Enjoy your life, enjoy your Sunday, and remember that you are blessed. Why is that? Because you got an opportunity to breathe. A little gratitude goes a long way. Be thankful for the breath that you breathe today, the information that you receive today, and the things that you're able to do in your life today. So you take care, have a great day, and I wish you the best.